Hi, welcome back to my channel, Remus Does Art, and today I'm going to be drawing an anime girl from a seal. I said that I could draw an anime girl with anything as the base, and someone suggested to do a seal, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try my best. So I googled seal on the internet, and I picked an image and I kind of stared at it for a couple of minutes thinking, what, how, and why? I never did figure out the why, but I did figure out the what and how. I figured out that I was going to do a lady posing, maybe sitting down, and she's wearing a big dress, and that was the image that I had. Now, this was really difficult because after staring at this seal for a while, I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? But I was kind of inspired of like a mermaid going on a rock, and I was like, oh, maybe I could have her sitting, and it kind of evolved into, a girl sitting with her big blue dress, as that big seal body. So I think I did a pretty good job with the sketch here, kind of trying to figure out what I'm doing. And yeah, right here I'm drawing the sketch. So when I started this drawing series, the first image I did was of a lemon, and I said I can draw an anime girl from any image as the base. And I thought I could until someone gave me the suggestion to do an alphabet block that children play with. And somehow I figured that one out, and my confidence boosted. I thought I could do anything until this comment. A seal? How could I possibly do that? And I'm not sure how I did, but eventually the image came to me and I was like, okay, maybe we can try to figure this out. And after a couple minutes of staring at the image, blacking out, and getting possessed by some art god, I somehow finished the sketch. And now I'm just doing another sketch to redefine my main idea. Sometimes I like to do two sketches. The first sketch is kind of me figuring out what I want to do. How do I want the pose? And figuring out the angles and stuff, just figuring out what I want to do. And the second sketch is kind of redefining the first one and getting a better idea of how everything looks. But most of the time I normally just do one sketch, but since this had such a difficult pose, and it was kind of something I was not familiar with for sure, so I kind of had to be creative, so I did two sketches this time. Honestly, I love this idea of drawing a seal because I just love kind of nautical things in the ocean, and I thought this would be a great challenge, but definitely a difficult one. At first I was kind of confused on the snout of the seal, like the nose, and how I was going to incorporate that into the drawing, but I had the brilliant idea to turn it into a wisp of hair, which I don't know how I came up with that, but it's not too shabby. I made a YouTube short out of this process of drawing the seal, and I asked my cousin, what sound should I use, since she is of the Gen Alpha and she knows all the popular things. And she told me, Let It Go from Frozen. And you know what? Great idea. It's fun, it's silly, I love it. And unironically, when I finished the drawing, I looked at it and she resembled Elsa. She had blonde hair, blue dress, and I was just like, that definitely influenced me. So unironically, she kind of resembles the same traits as Elsa. Now I am doing the outline of the sketch, and it's really one of the best parts that I like to do because you're like almost there but not quite. but you're kind of making your drawing come to life. But always when I finish the outline, I like to keep the sketch at half opacity so you can kind of still see it. It just depends on the kind of drawing, but I kind of like to see the sketch in there. And now I added the color. I wasn't sure if I wanted to add color because I was like, oh, I'll just make it a quick, fun drawing and I'm just gonna do that. And then I was like, okay. I'll just add, base colors. And I'm like, okay, I'll add basic shading. And then I was like, I had to stop myself from going all out. But this drawing took me about 40 minutes and I actually think it came out great. So here you can kind of see me fade the seal into the drawing, and I think I did a pretty good job. I don't know what you think. I think I kind of resembled the shadow of the seal, the outline, the overall outline, and I think it came out great. Comment below what you think, and consider subscribing if you liked the video.